Welcome to the Ultimate Fancast, where fans are the star of the show. Each week we explore the epic co-created Battle Bunnies franchise from legendary artists Frank and Krista Linatra and the team at Junkbox Studios. Ultimate fans join BBS, Lord L, and Brian as they dive deep into the extraordinary world of the Battle Bunnies. Plus, we'll be your guides and take you backstage with the creators and actors who are captivating family audiences worldwide. Are you ready to meet this week's Ultimate Fan? It's time to fan up and enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody to the Ultimate Fancast. We have an Ultimate Fan for you guys today. You'll see him in the Rumble pit. You'll see him everywhere you go, and you'll see him on the TCG. If you don't know this person, then you're definitely in the wrong Discord. So check the links below. Next, we have Rather Lost. Welcome to the stage, man.
Woohoo!
How's it going, guys?
Doing well.
Really good, man.
Welcome. Good evening, everybody.
Now we're super privileged to have you up on stage, man. You are an OG bunny. You've been here for as long as I can remember, and man, we appreciate you coming up. Definitely, we always like to go straight back to the roots and ask how you found the bunnies. When did you first come in?
Oddly enough, here's a weird story. It was Taco Bell originally. That's the only reason I joined Twitter. Was literally to bitch because I went specifically for my daughter to Taco Bell to get her something. And they messed the order up really bad. Like, they didn't put meat on the tacos. So I literally created a Twitter account just to post about these meatless tacos I got. And Twitter, literally like a week later, for some reason I'm on it. I was looking at it, and Jesse Smith and Carkayous came up. It was a space, so I hopped in the space. And while I was in there, I'm just like kind of getting like the feel for it. And they're like, retweet the space, and they're like, hit that purple thing down there, and like and retweet. Okay, I figured that out. And I won an NFT from Carkayous, and that drug me into Discord. Like, I was already a member of Discord, but for like more of a technical side of things. So I ended up in Carkayous, and from there it just kind of like Battle Bunnies, Bored to Death Club, and it just kind of escalated from there, actually. Welcome to Web3.
Yeah, man, I remember those days when...
I'm just wondering, did you get my order?
Yeah, I remember the days of the...
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get my Taco Bell order? Because in our household, there's actually several of us that will get tacos without meat. And sometimes we get somebody's with meat and we get upset about it.
I probably got your order. But I mean, it's funny because
glad we're clearing this up now.
My daughter's very, very, my one daughter's very, very particular about food. She was in a car accident and has no sense of smell. And so, like, it's all about texture for her. And so there's some things so she has a very specific order. And for some reason, they gave her the exact opposite. Like, don't put this on it. That's all they put on it. And it was just funny. At the time, that's literally how I ended up in Web3.
That's crazy.
Taco Bell screwed an order up, and I found Jesse Smith because I recognized him from Ink Master, and I was like, oh, like this dude's art's cool, and Battle Bunny.
So you minted a Spartan? Did you mint the Spartans?
No, I wasn't around.
So when was your first mint?
I got my first Spartan from you, Lord L.
Ooh.
Oh,
is there a story?
You don't
nice.
Know, like, you brought the card to me in Richmond last year here. But no, when I first got in, my first Battle Bunny was, I still have it. I bought it from B-Hit. I bought it from B-Hit 69, just so I was a holder. I think I'd been in the community for about 5 or 6 months already. Like I'd have probably already had 10,000 hops before I got my first battle bunny. Like I was active in the community. It was great when I first got in there. That's the thing is like when you get in there and you see all these people in, there was a lot going on back then too, because like we had the escape verse going on, and like so like we were all really into like doing like all of the puzzles, and this was shortly after 2020, so like I had a lot of free time. Man, I miss that. We could definitely do another pandemic. That sounds bad.
Well, I mean,
I could definitely use that type of a
without all
vacation
the
again. Though.
the
I
negative.
could use that type of a vacation again.
Yeah.
They're like, just stay home for 10 months. Okay.
Escape verse, huh? Like escape verse. I haven't
Now
heard
it's
that.
like, now it's like, come
in a
out.
minute.
Like they're like, please come out. We need you to come out. Please come out.
Yeah.
Return, people.
No,
But
it's awesome to hear stories like that. Though. I love the fact that so many different people have their totally different stories on how we became, like how we all got to the bunnies, and like Taco Bell. Like, man, that's pretty sick.
Well, I mean, and then the thing is, it's really Carkayous is what got me to Battle Bunnies. But if I wouldn't have been like on Twitter, like my daughter pointed out, she's like, you do realize, because it came up like as a memory or something, like an anniversary of the taco incident. It showed up on my phone, and I was talking to my daughter about it, and she's like, you realize if you had never done that, like you would have never none of this. Like, and she has a dark dragon and a battle and a bunny and stuff too. So it's she's like, none of us would have been in it. It's kind of funny.
That's awesome.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I found it. Like, it's really great. Like, to see this kind of like a community come together, like they come together. Like, that's the thing that, like, when I first joined, you guys were all like really. I came in right after Richmond, and not last year, but the year before, is when I joined.
Yep.
So like, you guys had all just met up for the first time, and we're talking about like, and there were pictures posted, and like, and the thing is like, I just got into Web3, and I'm like, no, like this isn't just like online stuff. These people are meeting up and going to events and stuff. Like, so, yeah, that kind of drew me into it more, I think.
Yeah, it does. Awesome. When you combine the real world with the virtual, or the digital, it does, connects the bonds between the fluffle.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next.
Well, the bunnies like itself have made me realize, like the IRL word isn't even relevant now. You don't say like my IRL or my online friends. Like this is real life. Like we are in real life right now.
That's so the thing is, it's great.
Like you said, we meet up. We're literally friends in different countries. Like we talk on the phone. We talk in text. We talk like this. It isn't the made-up land, which I thought it was definitely when I first joined Web3. Like, I literally thought it was just, I'll stay inside and get malnourished, but it's totally not like
Lord
that.
L from Australia.
We're all normal people living it.
With Richmond, I got to meet, like, that was one of the highlights of it. I'm not even kidding. Like, hey, I got my Spartan from you, and then I got to meet up with you and, like, meet you. And, like, you're from the future. So, like, I got to meet some guy from the future.
Mm-hmm. Always. It's amazing for me. It's amazing for me too, man, because like hearing you say that is a highlight to me. Like we don't realize how much of an impact that we make on each other. Like we're day in, day out, we're talking, we help each other through whatever it is, whether it be a life conversation, whether it's an NFT conversation, or obviously if it's a transferring wallet, it's not a me conversation, it's a Crypto Maximus or a BBS or someone. But it's like, it's crazy how much we're in bind in this. Like we're all got that same journey, that same vision.
Yeah, and rather like
meeting everyone just makes it so surreal.
Rather, you're super generous. Like you're just a class A, like great community member in a lot of different communities, not just the Battle Bunnies. Like Bored to Death. You mentioned Carkayous. just everywhere you go, it's like DPS, Dead Poker Society. You won a poker tournament and you gave me the winning NFT because it was spider related. Like that, that completely made my day. And thank you for doing that again. But you just,
Oh no, like that's one of the
love
things I
that.
really like about this is when I first, and it's kind of weird because the dynamic has changed a lot. Like when I first started getting into this, like I said, I'd won an NFT um, with Carkayous, and I think it was a Jimmy Janks actually.
Hmm.
But going forward past that, like a lot of the bunnies I've won. Like I mean, they're the Scyther games. My legendary is from the Scyther games, the first Scyther games. You know, I have a Gryla, like a mythic Gryla that I won last year during the 13 Days of Mischief.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not
Crazy.
just like it's definitely a
Yeah.
pay it forward kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, you
the
definitely
community
deserve
has
it, man.
been so generous. Um, and I've been lucky. Like I was kind of like the other drywall guy for a little while when I first joined. Like I just seemed to be really lucky at first. So, but I'm grateful for that. And definitely it's a pay it forward kind of thing. Like I love onboarding other people into communities,
Hmm.
especially if I think they'll enjoy that community.
I
So
think on that same token, rather, like is you aren't lucky, which we spoke to Drywall about as much. You're not as lucky as you think. You actually just put in the work and you're always there. You're clicking those swords. You're always entering the competitions. And usually the people that don't win don't enter, right? And you're there, man. So there's definitely a bit of luck. Don't get me wrong, all right? Drywall's different, right? There's a bit of luck there, right? It can't be that lucky. But the fact that you won so
I
much
think
just
he's that
means
active.
you were there all the time. You know what I mean? You put in the work.
Now with poker,
Like,
your skill, like you've got a lot of skill in poker, like that. There's some luck in there with the cards that you get, but there's
yeah,
also like
exactly. That's
how are you reacting to different card combos and what's going
Different
on at the
people.
table? Like people like what people are going to play and who to stay away from, and like the I don't know the different characters that are around.
It's a careful game, and like I mean, like it's not a foolproof one, that's for sure. Like
No,
no one, like me, I'm impressed with Mia's ability to play. She's won a lot of games, and the amount she's won more than everybody else just lends to her capabilities as a poker player. So I'm really impressed with like her play. Um, there are others too, like Esky. Trust me, Esky's coming up. Like
mm.
he's gonna give Mia a run for her money. Like when he's been in as long as because like he's only been there a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
that guy's definitely got a good poker game.
Mm.
Like Mia doesn't scare me, but Esky does. And I'm
It
not
scares
saying that
me.
Mia doesn't scare me only because like I know how she plays. So
Mm.
like I play a very similar game to her. So that's why, I guess. Like no disrespect to her for saying that. I just mean that because our games are so similar.
well, for some alpha. How do you play?
What's
Not
your
going to give
secret?
his
No
secrets up.
bluffing. No
I
bluffing. Like
I
she'll bluff in the game early in the game, but not
very
towards the
you
end. And then you're
really tight game. Like
yeah.
really tight game.
I've been in a final table with you a couple of times. I know that we both play it similar. Also, very
Yeah.
tight. Like I'm not gonna bet until I know I have everything. So,
It's not
but
even everything, but I tend not to bet on draws, and a
yeah.
lot of people do. A lot of people have two spades in their hand, two spades will come up, and they'll bet it.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm not. I don't know. That's one of the things I don't really do is bet a lot of draws.
Yeah. Well,
Like
you're
generally,
smart, right? The average.
You guys want to play against me because I don't know anything you're talking about right now. You'd be like, "Where's Brian at? I want
Well,
to
hey,
play."
That's what all the
Luke's good.
sharks
Luke
say.
got second place. That's like the final table at Richmond. That's pretty good.
yeah.
But online, I'm not good. That's the thing. Like when I play online, I suck. Apparently, because at Richmond, I come second the night before to John. John won it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then at the final table, I came second as well. So it's like in person, I'm not bad. The games I play, but for some reason online, I'm like maybe I'm just too impatient. I don't know. But 2.3 seconds, boom, chips are gone. Rather lost as grinning, rubbing his hands with no remorse onto the next
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm better in
one. So
person.
it's
Like I love
I'll
looking at
tell you what
people.
though.
I like looking at people when they have their cards, and if they have them close to themselves, then I know they have a good hand. But if they have them like pushed off as far off as they can be, then they have a terrible hand, and I will bet against them every day. So, like, imagine that. Like, just where your
Wait a
hands
second.
are.
Wait a
No
second.
tip.
You just gave somebody a tip on when
I
they're
don't
playing
know.
you and they have a good hand, they're going to start pulling their stuff way away
Like,
from
I
them.
got a
And then
good
when they
hand.
don't,
I'm gonna put like.
they'll be like,
Yeah,
this.
I
You got a
always do the
terrible one,
opposite, and
they're
I
like
always
this.
switch it up anyway. Yeah,
Well,
but just
BBS is going to show up to Richmond. BBS has to show up to Richmond anyway to be able to do it.
I'm gonna be
Otherwise,
there.
it's just going to be
I'm
online. We're
definitely
never going to
gonna
see each other's
definitely
hands.
gonna be there. I'm not missing that this time. Rather,
Yeah.
I'm really interested in your name. Would you care to shed some light on like how you came across that, or is there a story behind it that you'd like to share?
It's not the first time it's come up, and there actually is. I'm not a big gamer, but there is one game I really like, and I played it pretty much through every iteration it's come through, and it's called Monster Hunter. It's a
Oh, okay.
Capcom game, and in the game there is a dragon that's called a Rathalos. Okay, spelled Rathalos. Okay, and when I first started playing the game, and it's an online game with online play, my character's name was Rathalos, but with a W in front of it, like to make the wrath. And then a buddy of mine, when we switched from one system to another, my best friend stole my name. No, he did. He literally made his character Rathalos or Rathalos. Okay. And that was when I decided to make the change from so I needed a screen name for the new game. He already took mine just to be a friend. So
Former best friend.
when
As you
I
do.
just took Rathalos, I took the Rathalos and I made it Rather Lost. Hey, I'm a little on the absent-minded side, if you haven't noticed. So it kind of fit in that kind of way, like so, and it was close to the original Rathalos. So it's basically based on the Capcom game and my absent-mindedness.
That makes a lot of sense because I think in Bored to Death Club you have the W there, right? Or is that
actually, if you in Bored to Death Club, the Rathalos is the dragon from the game Monster Hunter is my PFP.
Okay, all right, nice.
And I have the W in my name. Yes, also. Yep.
Thought I saw that.
Nice.
And but yeah, that's the kind of the basic origin of the name. And it's kind of funny, like how many screen names have you gone through your life? Just a question for Brian Stout. One.
Yeah, maybe.
Mine's Blackbird Spider since I was 19. So I've had that for a very long time.
So that's a pretty that's a pretty long one.
I've definitely had a lot.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah,
I was a baby.
My screen name is actually Think Stout, ThinkStout. I just don't know why I didn't use it for Discord. Maybe it was already taken. Like one of my kids have adopted it. I don't remember, but yeah, like the Think Stout is where I use like my Gmail, like everything. Like that was always my thing, was like, and it came from me saying, like back in the 90s when I was trying to come up with a domain, and they're like brianstout.com was not available because, you know, that's how original I am. I was like, oh, I got to come up with something. I don't want to use my middle initial or anything like that. I was like, Think Stout, think. And I was like, ooh, Think Stout. I like that. I was like, maybe I'll just use that. So I was like, thinkstout.com's available. And I bought it. And like, that's how I ended up with my screen name.
Yeah, because I've gone.
That's your little catchphrase, right? So whenever you,
I've gone through a few. You know, so like, there was a while when like, Jerk Store, and which is one I still use. It's my Twitter alt.
What is that? Is there a story behind Jerk Store, or is that
there
some
is
other?
too? I was in a trade school once, and I was an older student in the trade school, and I had a bunch of younger, like just fresh out of high school students, and they were all into like messing around a lot, like wasting time, you know, and I was like the serious taking my education type thing. And so like I got into an argument one day and he was like the one guy was like, "You're a jerk." Like he was like, "You're like a like you're so jerk, like you could open a store. Like you could open a jerk store." And that as soon as that happened, it became my name at school. And I was just jerk store. And honestly, I just kind of like owned it because like you can't let it get to you. You can't let guys like that do that to you. So I was just like, yeah, I'm jerk store, and that became a screen name for me for a while. And then snack box, and that I don't know where that one came from. It was just snack box was a funny one that I used a long time for gaming, like online at like PS and Xbox accounts. I think screen names are funny.
Speaking of gaming, have you dabbled much into the TCG? Like, how do you go with that? You've been playing?
No, I am attempting to find a device that will actually run the game. That's where I'm struggling at. I have a laptop and it just will not do it. And I've tried to like go through and strip it of all its processes and stuff. And I miss XP because it was easier to do it with XP. Apparently, Windows 10 is not as easy to do that with. So, but my wife is going to bring one home from work apparently because I was trying to get one from the escape room, but they're all kind of tied up at the moment. They keep opening more and more rooms. So
you get in, you can't get out. So it's, you know.
So you're big into escape rooms? Is there a story behind the escape rooms? Like,
not really. That's one of the things that kind of like more solidified me into Battle Bunnies. Like in the beginning was the escape verse thing because my wife's best friend and her sister opened an escape room 7 or 8 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and I was there. I was the contractor for the build, and that was an interesting thing. And on top of that, I have a background in electronics. That was what the trade school was. So I built a lot of props and stuff for them, and installed a lot of like the props that they bought. And I've been doing it ever since, helping them build their rooms, showing them how to. I've more been teaching them, and they've been slowly just learning to do it themselves. Like I don't work there much. If I go there, it's for something highly technical, or they just can't fathom how to physically make something not move, because that's a big problem in the escape rooms.
Yeah, tell me about it. What a great project that was when it was in its infancy, the escape verse. And I really hope
miss
that
it. I really
they bring that back because they could easily bring that back.
I kind of miss it. Like it was fun. We had a lot of good times in there, like solving puzzles, and she was really good at it. Like,
Kristen,
she was really good. Like, I mean,
well, Frank and Krista are amazing at those. I think I remember Krista and Frank's team. I think every team from the Bunnies beat every other team that we played.
Killed everybody.
Every other NFT project.
It was an issue, I guess, because we did.
But Frank and but I know the team. Krista was on with like 11 minutes or something. They got through it, and the other closest time before that was like 45 minutes. I remember don't quote me on the exact times, but I remember it being like blowing them out the water type of. Krista rolls in, and because obviously Frank and Krista love escape rooms as well in like normally. So I think that was their forte. But I know all the bunnies excel.
I think that'll come back.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I hope it comes back.
If not,
so the person that ran the project also has a business of escape rooms, and so she was very creative with like coming up with puzzles every week. And then there was an NFT project. The project was a little big, like it was 10,000 pieces, but you know, like you get a piece, and then you can then participate in the Discord and do all these fun things. And I don't know. I thought it was good. Like, and all of us were there.
She was actually was she in the military as a cryptographer?
I believe so.
Government?
Yeah. I could be wrong,
one of the
but
two. She was one of the two, but she was a cryptographer herself. So she was definitely like really good at making some of the puzzles, and like she would make some really challenging ones that we would really have to like put our heads together to solve. And they were Scooby-Doo themed.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'd consider that a roundtable project, even though it's not really doing anything right now.
Yeah, I think I know what is. I have a Puzzleverse NFT that somebody gifted me when I bought one of their bunnies off of them.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk. I want that one.
You do?
Yeah, because
did you gift
he
it
had
to him?
So he said, "Hey," so he was the community manager for the Escapeverse, and he said, "Hey, do you want to buy this, whatever?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I really wanted it, but I was like, no, like my usual, I'm not going to buy it." And then he gave it to you, so I was like, "What is happening?" If it's the same one, but anyway, it's a golden. It's got a crown, and I liked all the crown ones.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah,
so
that's
he offered
weird.
it for he offered it to you for sale, and then gave it to him.
Then he was like,
"Well, I bought a bunny. Yeah, I bought a bunny. Like, were you not going to buy the bunny
sorcerer,
off of
right? Was it a sorcerer that you bought?
It was a sorcerer. Yeah.
I don't know. He was a really
I'll just
good
send it to you.
manager, and no, it's
no, I'll get your wallet later, and we'll just send it over.
You couldn't.
It's fine.
Hold on to your puzzle head.
I don't know whether I need it for anything, so I'll just send it to my buddy BBS.
All right. Well, I'll send you something back.
He's writing a note down now. Get puzzle of EBS.
I got to find out what's the big deal about this puzzle piece, though, before I just send it across.
Well, it's a crown. I liked all the crowns, and that's what I wanted it for.
With BBS, there's some crazy backstory that's written in some other grimoire. Or if you know what BBS is like, he's already got his own novel written on it or something like.
Yeah, we just have to put BBS.
BBS don't muck around. He snatches unhatchables off the floor.
I did. I'm proud of that.
Nice.
Well, one.
That was a great price. That was a great price on that unhatchable you picked up.
Not financial advice. Do your own research.
Yeah.
We do that because we don't want people to think, hey, we're doing this so that you go and mint something or buy something. It's not the point. And I actually like that you brought up that you just when you came in, you hopped for a little bit.
I think it's the exact opposite, BBS.
I love that.
I would like to point out.
I don't want to promote it too much because I don't want people to buy the NFTs I want.
This is one of the things I love about the Battle Bunnies, though, is that they've been extremely careful about their legal ramifications and how things are worded or said. But through all of the time I've been in the project, there's it's never been chilly. There's never been pressure. I was in their community for 6 months and not a member, and hung out and talked to them, and we grumbled and hang out in video chats and played poker together, and there was never any hey, you're not a holder. There are things that you're not capable of doing because you don't have the role, but still, as far as the community was concerned, that didn't bother the community. They were hey, come on in. It doesn't even matter if you have one. But even that, even their mints, there's no mint bounties. Honestly, to be honest, the mints go fast. They go too fast. I sometimes think that the numbers aren't enough. They definitely could have been more Euligans, maybe.
Yeah,
love that product.
Definitely could have been.
More dragons and
more gift hoarders, please. No.
But that's what makes them special. That's why your Grilla's special, because she's one of 8.
Yeah, one of 8. That's amazing.
There's. She's
definitely like Jesse Smith said, rarity is a big part of it. You can't flood the market with it. We were talking about BBS said about the puzzle thing when he came out with the 10,000 piece collection to begin with. And I agree. I think collections to come out with those ginormous right off the bat. That's a stretch. Maybe because I wasn't around the last room, I'm not familiar with how things are when the market is I was into crypto back then, but not NFTs at all. Yeah. So I'm not sure how
I think it's testament to
it was back then, but
it's in my opinion, rather on that token, it's testament to Frank, Krista, and John and Food Fight Studios, because when we first came out, if I do remember, we did have the bunnies were a 5,000 drop, and the market when we like after the Spartans took that real downfall, and like the NFT game was totally different. And as we hear from Frank and Krista, they say all the time that it was totally different to when they first came into this space, like the NFT world. So they quickly adapted.
Pieces.
All the puzzle heads.
Yeah, so there's one with the crown.
Continue, Lord L. They adapted. Did he rug?
They adapted back then to change the mint up and to the way it is now. Like otherwise, we would have had 5,000 bunnies cruising around. But like I said, it's testament to them that it didn't scare them off like other communities and non-financial, obviously, whether they did it or not. But you can release a massive project or a massive number. It all depends on what you do with it. If obviously Frank and Krista didn't get scared away by the mint slowing down because of the way crypto went, and we adapted, and now look at us, like you said, like what two and a bit years later, and we're minting out in 13 minutes, and I'm on the other end, no financial. I'm on the other end trying to mint, and I can't even get into a pre-sale that sells 83, and at a price point of 222 or whatever it was. Like that's an amazing feat that we've all created together, and like it's just going to continue to go. And obviously, these Dark Dragons, it is a smaller collection because of the what we're going for, the feel we're going for. It's the Gen 2s, it's the Genesis 2s of the. So it's going to be like that, and obviously we can just continue to see the movement, because like I said, it's we're investing in Frank, Krista, and Food Fight to always value our investments, because that's what we're doing. We're investing into this, and they always have our best interest at heart. They always, tell us exactly what's going on. They're always, like you said, making the legal side of it, everything perfect, and non-financial. Obviously, I'm a chef by trade, so this is all just, from what I say. But it's like what I see is awesome.
Well, the great thing about it is like, for me, it's not even an investment. Like that's the thing. It's like there's things you will buy, and you will like buy them so that at some point, maybe time in the future, you can sell them and like make a profit. Battle Bunnies is not that project for me. Battle Bunnies for me is a collection. I'll never, I mean, never say never, but I don't plan on selling any of my.
I was gonna say, like, I'll hit you up.
I've given them away to people.
I'll hit you up rather in 5 years when our bunnies are worth non-financial 10, 20 grand each. We'll see who sold a couple of them.
The Spartans could definitely do that.
Hopefully by then something else will have taken care of that, and I still just get to collect them.
Yeah, I mean that
would be amazing.
Even if they're worth that money, if you don't need the money, like you just hold on to them.
Yeah.
They move away from the NFT project and it goes to like cards and the novel and more books. Like and then it just like becomes a whole other thing. And we just say, amusement park, and we just say, hey, this started with NFTs, and
greeting cards.
Us four have a piece of that.
What are those little dolls called with the
Funko?
Yeah, some Funko pops.
Yeah, like the little plastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Funko pops would be great.
Yeah, if Frank I'm sure Frank's already thought of that.
No, but I'm just saying, like you have to understand that there's a point with the brand where in the future, that saturation just might be there. Like you might be seeing these things in the aisles at Walmart and in Targets and what are those things called? Hot Topics and you know what I mean? Trading card places and stuff like that. Just like literally Battle Bunny trading cards in the aisle at Walmart with all the other Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and and I think it's possible. I think it's probable actually. They have such a drive. That's one of the things I'm impressed by, is like their drive to make it happen, and to the extent to which they're really passionate about it, and they're really there all the time. And you just don't see that in all of the projects.
Yeah, it's more than
And it's not just them.
It's more than we can even imagine. Like, and obviously we all
It's not
know.
just them. It's the
Yeah,
whole community.
exactly.
Like, the community is becoming the project. Like, look at where we're at right now. We're sitting here having a fan.
I think it's the co-creation. Exactly right, man. Exactly. And I think, like, you know, them, like we've said this a few times, but, you know, they moved their house. They do this full time. They changed they're literally their whole life to do this full time. So it's not a little hobby. It's not a side project. It isn't a cash grab. You know, this is their life now. This is
their
now,
goal,
like you said,
their aim,
we're all part of it. We're all
and their brand.
co-creating.
And so, like,
Yeah.
And with the drive they have, I see it becoming everything they want it to be. I see it doing that. Like, I just don't see them not.
And you yourself, rather, you're a perfect example of an amazing community member, you know, because, you know, you jump on, you talk, you interact, you play the games, you know, like you said, you didn't wail out and, you know, invest thousands of dollars, you know, straight away. Like, you took your time, but you are so valued in this community. Like, it's like me, like BBS, like Brian, we all have our part that we play. And, you know, the fact that you're here right now is just another testament to how amazing we are. And we are creating this together. It's ours. It's our project. It's like the moment you join the fluffle, the moment, like you said, you don't even need to get an NFT. You just rock up and you say, "What's up?" You're in the family. What do you reckon?
You know, it was amazing, like, to join a community like that, and just to see the activity and the amount that they cared about. Like, I don't know, it really has been astounding to see an online, like, project. Like, I'd have never thought 2 years ago, if you'd have said, like, you're going to be, like, heavily invested in this online project and really interested in some, like, I'd have said no. Like, I'd have said absolutely no. If you'd have told me I was traveling to Richmond, Virginia to go to a tattoo convention for NFT project,
Yeah, Brian and I talk about that.
I'd
too.
have chuckled
We don't have
about
tattoos.
that too myself. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm not a big tattoo fan.
Mhm.
I'm an art fan, and I do have a tattoo. I enjoy tattoos, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, this took me by surprise. It really was outside of my whole, like, I'm a contractor. I build stuff, and I come home and I cook dinner, and I don't know, like,
Just enjoy life. Yeah.
But you bring up a good
but
point.
this is definitely not something that, like, even everybody I know, they're like, where did this come from? Like, how did this happen? Like, my wife's like, what do you mean you're going to Raleigh, huh? Yeah, in March. I'm like, she's like, okay. I mean, she's going on a cruise in March. She'll be in. Yes, I don't know. I don't know where the cruise is going to, actually. She's going on a 7-day cruise in March. I'm not sure where. I think it's Hawaii.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll know more in the future as it gets closer to March.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the rally also, but it just didn't work out with the whole year's worth of, like, we just planned like the whole year of what we're gonna do, and I was like, oh, let me put a pin in that,
Mhm.
and it's just not gonna work out. Although I would like to see a convention of that size.
Well, I'm trying to go as well, but the family wants to go to Richmond this year too. So I'm like, what do I do? I don't know if I can go to both.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to work it out. And the family said, if you go to America again, we're coming. So I can't not leave them this time. So
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to Richmond again. Not going to miss that ever, man. It's going to be a tradition. As long as the Bunnies or Bored to Death or Carkayous are going to be there, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I brought my buddy Travis to Richmond because I think he just needed to get out. He's kind of a recluse, and when I brought him there, like, my daughter was, I had already talked to her about going, and then I was like, me and Travis are going, and she was like, what do you mean you and Travis are going? I thought we were going, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get Travis out a bit. Yeah.
Nice.
But
I have a couple pictures here.
sure
Yeah, he
she'll
would
be
have
next
been.
year. Travis said he wants to go back, but Janelle said she'll definitely be there next year. And my son now, he's got a bunny, so hopefully he makes it there. I'm not sure.
Nice. Yeah. These are just you're shy of the camera, so I didn't have a whole bunch of pictures. Like I have some of you guys sitting around. Here's the I think the third picture. I got you drinking a Coke, got you looking at the cards with Aaron, and then I got you talking to Aaron, but nothing where you're sitting down. Did you ended up playing? Didn't you play against Mike?
Yeah.
I do have pictures of that. I just did not get those in here. Because I remember you guys were sitting at that little table over here and like right here playing, right? Like
I
at
did
one
better.
point.
I think I might have done better at avoiding the camera than see, now my mind's gonna do this to me. Miss Firefly.
Yeah.
I think you might have got more pictures of her than me.
Well, I have more pictures to edit, but after like going through 1,000 and getting about 400 of them, like just to like get some of the action shots and stuff like that, like I need to go back in and like just look at like individuals and see if I can pull out like some individual pics, because I took a whole bunch of pictures. But yeah, just wanted to capture the event because it seems like the first Cyber Cup is going to be a significant thing on the roadmap, to the future as we launch the game and expand into this whole TCG thing. Now, are you had you played other, like, it sounds like you've done other like games and
I've never
like,
played it. My niece tried to get me to play Magic the Gathering a while back, but I never really got interested. And then when the trading game started, I was trying to join online. I didn't play until I got to Richmond. But I would like to say that it was really easy to pick up. Now, I think I might have got lucky too. Like, I just had good draws through my first two games. And the third one, I made a bad play and kind of had the seed. I think that was the one I had to forfeit because I had accidentally put like one of my cards back into my pile instead of the discard.
Oh, okay.
And
What
then it came
deck
up.
did you go with? What deck did you go with?
I think I was using Viking to start with.
Okay.
I had used Pirate once, and then I went with Viking and Viking. I like the Viking deck because it's powerful. The Pirate deck seemed is lacking weapons.
Yeah.
And
it does other things.
I know it's all strategy, but
yeah, with both decks you have to get the strategy going, like as you mentioned. Yeah.
But I think like if you're gonna first start out and play your first game, I think the Viking deck is a better one to play. And I think if you're gonna tell someone that's just starting to play, I think you tell them that definitely you want to attack every chance you have a chance to. Like if you have, as soon as you're weaponized and can attack every turn, take advantage of those, especially against the pirate deck because they're about volume, and you have to keep that volume thin.
Or don't.
Hard
That's
for you to
fine.
play as a
Everybody that's
Viking
listening.
when you're
Kidding.
And I am a pirate, which is kind of funny
Yeah.
because I like the Viking deck.
I like both decks. Yeah, both decks are very
But
balanced.
I think eventually we're going to end up with, like everybody, like the decks are going to be such a mix. Once you have all 6 classes and all of those abilities and all those different cards, people are going to be building some intense,
massive decks
mixes of class. Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking as you were talking about the Viking thing, I was like, is that hard for you since you're a pirate? And this is your PFP, your profile picture that I've seen that you've used. Is there a story behind this pirate?
not really. After I got my first pirate, this was the one I actually chose. The first pirate I just bought because it was probably the cheapest one, and at that time I was like, okay, I can afford to buy a Battle Bunny now, so I bought like one from B-Hit. But this was the one where I was like, okay, I can afford to buy whatever bunny I want on the floor. which one do I want? And this was the guy I chose. And I was like, this is going to be my. Green's my favorite color, and I like the eye patch. I've had to wear one before in my life, and so I like the guy.
Yeah, I like the gold and the green and the purple. Like it all just like it looks like it's. Now, is this a legendary bunny or is it?
No, he's just a series 1. I do have a legendary, and he's actually mostly green too. But that's another thing. That's one of the things that was weird. Like I was kind of like struggling with like how to choose. Like how do I put this? Because it came up in conversation. Not everybody in the Battle Bunny universe is going to be a bunny.
Correct.
Some people are going to be squirrels.
Or mice.
And some people are going to be mice. So, like, not only, like, is this character going to be a bunny, but is this character, like, what class? And then you have, like, and it just seems weird because not all of the class, not all of the animals are out yet. So,
this is just your first class. This is our first class. Like, you know, like
I love the shield.
be a
Like
second class.
Is that like a pirate patch or a pirate bunny on the shield?
It is. Yeah.
It looks like it could be. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The skull and crossbone bunny head.
Yeah, I've got some of your other ones. This is will this one be rather lost in the collection or will it have a different name?
That's what John had just contacted me tonight about that. He was like, is this like the PFP that you use all the time? Is that like rather lost? And I was like, yes, that's him.
Nice. How about this one? I think you mentioned this earlier. Is this the one that you won in the Scyther games last year?
In the first Scyther games, that was like, yep.
This is the Cernos, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is a legendary Cernos bunny, which is very, very cool. Love that. And then you got this guy. I put this one in because of his eye patch, because I know that her. Sorry, I should. You're right.
Sorry.
Yeah, eyelashes.
Yeah, she's sweet. I love the gold. I love the gold.
Are there any male Valkyries?
No, I don't think so.
Too. That was like my first was it just has wings, so it's a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But it's a pirate Valkyrie.
Yeah, and she's got like I don't on her shield, like it looks like she's got a mermaid or something on the inside, like those little details that you see when you look at the bunny.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I've never
awesome.
noticed that before, so that's kind of interesting. I'll have to look closer at that.
Yeah. I have it on a giant screen over here.
Yeah,
I'm looking over here. It's not I'm ignoring you guys. It's just I have my main screen is actually over here, and then I've got 2 monitors like that flank it. So, and she's got those swirly eyes we talked about with Shizzler. I don't know, like if that's the same type of eye, because there's 2 variations. There's like the excited and then swirly, but these look like swirly to me. But I'd have to look at the traits to be sure. And then you talked about this earlier, Grilla. You know, that was a huge pickup in your Mischief 13 Days of Mischief last year. Like,
yeah, because there is only 8 of these, and the other 7 have Frank's signature on them.
Oh man! Wow. Yeah.
So that is the only one that only has Krista's signature on it, as far as I know.
Wow, that's cool.
I love that.
It's a little different than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why that was. There was a reason for it, but I'm not sure why. Because I had asked about it. I was like, how come they all have Frank's signature on it except this one?
Maybe she did the background, like she does.
I think she did do the background for it, and he did the backgrounds on the other ones. So,
isn't that crazy? The first NFT without Frank's signature on it makes it even rarer because it's just got Krista's.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, she's great. And then your Toxic Spartan, like love the Toxic skin, like
background. Epic.
Yeah, I got the I'm drawing a blank on what the background is for that Spartan. I've got one, but I can't remember what it's called. But that's cool. And then you mentioned this guy. This guy is.
I was going to ask you.
A fan favorite. This became a fan favorite, and I looked up his name, and I don't know if I translated it correctly, but his name is just straight up Toad.
Just straight up Toad. But yeah, because I was like, I'm going to translate it. I was looking at some of the other ones, and I'm looking at their names, and I'm like, no,
or
wait a
she,
minute.
she.
Yep, her name's Toad. Yeah.
No,
the color in that, like the green
Toad.
and the green and purple, just the green just really pops off that.
Yeah,
that's my favorite color combination with the dragons.
Yeah, congrats on that one.
Yeah, that's
that dark purpley with the green.
I think that might be it on yours. Yeah, that's the game, but we don't have to play that right now. But yeah, she's like, she and the he versions of these quickly became favorites in the
like
the series too.
Sought after immediately.
Because I mean, like they're different, right? Like this is like a kind of a departure from some of the other dragons. Like, not that the other dragons in the collection aren't great, but we've seen similarities from the light dragons, and then to have something an all new breed, this is really cool.
And the I don't want to call it a mustache, but it's kind of like the mustache on the frog. Like, I just really like that. Like, I don't know what to call it, because I mean, it's a female. I hate to
it definitely gives an homage to like Japanese like culture, like like the curly Fu
Manchu,
Man.
like
yeah. Like, because he's done that with some other ones. Like he did that with the quilled Manchu, where it has those swirls, like kind of just a little bit, like with the pokey things coming off. That's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit. Obviously, this one's a little more spiky.
Thank you so much, Rather, for coming, man, and we really appreciate you. I know we could talk for another couple of hours on end, but we do like to ask towards the end of the show is for new people listening right now, or new people that want to get involved that haven't, do you have any advice for them where to start or what to do?
Join the community, join the Discord, join the Discord, come in and hang out, get to know the community members, because really that's it. It's a community and it's a family. Like the project itself, you want to buy an NFT, like again, like I feel no pressure to tell someone you should buy a Battle NFT. Like it doesn't even sound right to say that. Like, come hang out with us is more like the vibe that, like, no, just come hang out with us. Like, come, like, we play poker, we play Fall Guys, we do drink and draws on Friday and watch Frank draw. There's all sorts of community events that we all participate in. Come with me to Raleigh. Come with me in North Carolina. Like, it's not like, hey, you need to buy.
And as you said, like, there's so many different ways you can earn an NFT. There's so many different ways you can earn an NFT.
And that's
with all the monthly draws, the side of the games.
If you're going to join the community, they literally give away an NFT every month out of the new members. Like, so your chances of getting one are really high, and I don't know, like it's a wonderful project. It's an awesome family / community, however you want to look at it. For me, it's more family, to be honest. But I don't know. That's the thing. It's completely different than any other project I'm in. It's not like hey, you need to come in and buy this kind of environment. And like most projects are. Most projects, that's their primary goal, is to get you to mint. And when I joined the Battle Bunnies, no one said, hey, you need to mint one of these, or you need to have one of these, you need to buy one of these. They were just like, hey, you want to golf?
Good luck, right? Like, if you can get one, good luck.
And let's golf. We're gonna go play mini golf on Oculus. Like, we're just gonna hang out and chill together and be friends. And that was mind blowing for me. So for a new member, come on in, hang out, get to know everybody. Like, it's a really great community.
You heard it first. If you are new,
buy one if you want.
Yeah, man, you heard it here first. If you are in the community, you are listening and you do want to get involved.
Come in the community, most of them, that's one of their first questions is, where do I get one of these? So, they'll ask it when they're ready. So like that's The non-shilliness of the Battle Bunnies community is insane compared to like most NFT projects. Most, and again,
I agree,
like
and
we
we're in
say
most of
that
the
too.
same
We
ones
say
together.
NFT project, but the Battle Bunnies aren't even an NFT project. They're a brand. They're a different type of entity. I don't know how to explain that, but it's not just an NFT project. They got the novel and the TCG game and it's just the community, like it's incredible.
Yeah, for me, it's like, hey, Disco, you were right, because he told me for months. He's like, you got to get in here. It's so good. And I was like, I'll get to it. It's no big deal. And then Aaron popped in, and then yeah, so like to your point, like
you were with the Beatheads, right?
yeah, the Beatheads. Mm-hmm.
Because that was like one of the things like I noticed was there were a lot of the beat. I think Disco gave me a couple. I have a pair, like a matching pair.
Mm-hmm.
Like they send me an icon once a month or something.
Yeah.
Or they were. I haven't looked in a while actually.
Yeah, that should have stopped. That was only for a year, but I had a custom made from the artist because I won it through the crypto NFT.com. When the mint happened, they said three or 10. I think it was 10 people. 10 people are going to win a custom from the artist. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. And then I won it, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, like it was a really big thing at the time. And then really all the things that we wanted were all the things that, we're finding in the Battle Bunnies. Like we're just a part of things. It's not even like a financial gain or it's just to have that inclusiveness of hearing our voice and just being a part of something that's bigger than ourselves is pretty awesome. That's really what we wanted in other projects, not to be hey, we're going to do this mint bounty or whatever, or hey, we're going to have this great mint, and then the next day you're like, well, where is everybody? Like, oh, they're on vacation. Like, well, of course they are, right? Because it's crazy. And I wish I was lying about that, but it happens a lot, but not to me anymore.
And don't get me wrong, the mint values,
But anyway,
the mint
I'll go off on a
bounties do
tangent. I'm
have
not
their
trying to.
place. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like,
Right, but thank you so much for taking the time to come out here and spend that and have people like get to know who you are, like because we're here to highlight you, and you're just such a great community member. It's really an honor to have you here. Appreciate it.
It's really great to be here. I really enjoy what they're doing. Like it's really great to come and just to get up in the morning and just hang out and say good morning to folks and do my Wordle and struggle with my Wordle some days. But
I don't know how you do that. That drives me crazy. That Wordle.
But
and the variations.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I don't know, like the drinking draws and hanging out on Fridays and playing poker together, meeting up in IRL, like honest, like that was crazy insane. That was just really really nice to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, hopefully we have more of it in the future.
I mean, I know there will be.
Yeah, man, I'm
invested in the project. I really like the project. I really like the brand. I like the community. I like the members. And that's the thing is like that's another thing is like Frank and Krista are so accepting. Like it really doesn't matter what walk of life. It doesn't matter what social class you're in. I don't think the community is literally a spectrum of people from one end to the other. So I think it's really great that Frank and Krista are so accepting, and not like I don't know. There's a lot of projects where it's not like that. I don't know how to explain it. They're definitely an anomaly when it comes to everything I've experienced in Web3.
I think you're right. Rather, there is no words to explain what happens here, and for you to find out for yourself, the only way to do it is to come in. Everyone has a different experience, which is the coolest thing. Everyone has a different why. Everyone has a different entry point. Everyone has a different budget. Like you said, everyone's a different walk of life. Like it's totally amazing. It's hard to even capture in words, but as you would have heard listening to all the fan casts previous, like, you know, everyone's why is different. Everyone loves the project for a different reason, for the art, for the games, for the social aspect. There's so many different things, and the more we dive into this Ultimate Fancast, you know, the more we all learn, the more we all get to grow together and, you know, learn new things. Because I know I learn something new almost every Fancast. I'm like, really? So it's definitely good.
Yeah, I listen to these like while I'm working. You know, I'll just like pop on an episode and listen. So it's, I don't know. You just, even though we were here, right? You may just pop this on and be like, oh, I didn't know. You know, Luke said this or Brian said that, and you know, it's just interesting.
My mom was listening to the latest episode, and she mentioned that I'd mentioned her in the episode, and I was like, yeah, I was really proud that, you know, or, you know, excited to share with the community that my mom, you know, wants a Valkyrie, and like she wants to be part of the community, and, you know, so yeah, like it's just, you know, all walks of life, any age, like there's no, you know, there's no like, there's no ideal, like this is exactly what the community should be. It's like any community. It's full of diverse, different, you know, people from all walks of life, and that's what makes it so cool and feels, you know, like family.
It's almost like real family where you don't even get to pick them; they just show up at your door. I'm like, hi, I'm here.
That's what you guys said about me when I came in. Uh-oh, Brian's here.
What's this guy got a real name for? He's using his real name.
Who is this? I bet it's fake. I bet it's not real. Like, you guys, that'll be the funny thing is when, you know, years down the line, I'll be like, my real name is
David
Bob
Eckhart.
Smith. You know, it's the same initials, but it's really Bob and Smith. I just didn't want you guys to, you know my real name until now.
Because you'd never be able to find me anyway because of Bob Smith. Like it's
yeah. Right. No, I'm telling all my stuff. Think Stout. That's where I'm at everywhere. So you can find me anywhere online. All right. That was a great one. Like
that was
I
really
met
good.
Rather in real life at Richmond. So this was nice to have a conversation, talk to him again tonight. Just love the fact that, you know, like he talked about how important the community is and just how welcoming it was. Like, you know, when he started in the project a year ago, last October, and just everything since. So yeah, it was just awesome from my perspective.
His passion, you can hear it in his voice when he talks about it. You know, he deeply does, you know, care about the project, and we've seen it through what he does in Discord. You know, he is always there. He always jumps into the rumbles. He's always in the poker room. He's in the artist showcase on the TCG. He's always around. So it's definitely good. And you know, I got to meet him in person as well, and it's definitely no smoke and mirrors with Rather. He's a straight up. He's the same person when you meet him in Discord, or you meet him on the Fancast, or you meet him in person. So it's definitely good to have him. I can't wait to have him back because I know there's still loads more stories and loads more things that we need to touch on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him what his custom would be. I was like, oh, I want to ask him what his custom would be, but that's what's next show. Yeah, the next one.
The follow-up show. Absolutely. Yeah. I really enjoy, like, everywhere I see him, it's always like it's an honor just to be there with him, and great poker player, great person, great community member, like, and just chatting with him here on the Fancast, it's just everything's consistent, everything is the same, and so like I think we're truly lucky to have Rather with us in this project. And you know, he's one of those that you just want to clone and have like a million of. But I think we should all just be thankful that he's here with us. It's just, you know, I can't wait to have those meetups and see each other more often. Maybe this year, maybe like every year, it's more and more, which would be great. I think Luke's itching to get out here again, and maybe we can go there.
No,
Like that would be great too.
a bit
Like
like
let's all go to where you are. Like that could happen.
yeah, yeah. And like Brother said himself, man, like he was in here for 6 months before he even had a Battle Bunnies NFT. Like he was a part of the community before he even held. And
Mhm.
if you are listening and you want to take that leap, you want to get involved, there's no pressure. Come when you're ready. Join the Discord.
Mhm.
You can find us on Twitter or Discord. There will be links below. If you're listening and you want to jump up on this Fancast, definitely reach out to us. BBS, me, or Brian. We'd love to have you up here. If you've been up here before or you're new to it, whether you hold a bunny or you don't hold a bunny, we want to hear everyone's story. We want to hear everyone's why and the reason why everyone comes, because that's what excites us all, and continues, like we can continue to make amazing things together.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you hadn't had a chance to, and you haven't, rather, if you could like and subscribe to this channel so that we can, first we'll know, hey, this is working right, and we can continue to do this. Also, it's great that, someone else might be able to see this and share that with them. And really all we're just trying to do is just grow this community so that more people can experience it and enjoy what we've already been enjoying for, several months, some of us years.
Yeah. And if you're now plugged into the Dark Scyther games, if you watch this episode and you can answer the 5 questions correctly, you can earn 7 Scyther. So just a little plug for that again. So if that's something that you're participating in the Discord server, you don't have to be a holder. I think you have to be a holder to play the games, because he won that Serenos bunny last year, right? But I will get comments if that is incorrect, but I don't think you have to be a holder to play either.
I'd say if you answer the questions and then put it in your ticket, you have a really good shot of having that added to your total if you get them correct, which, I think that you will.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again. And we will do this again next week with another Ultimate Fan.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today, Ultimate Fan. BBS, Lord L, and Brian, that's me, do hope you enjoyed today's program as much as we did, where Ultimate fans like you are the stars of the show. We'd be honored to have you join us on a future episode where you can share your story and love of the Battle Bunnies with this encouraging community. It would be the greatest compliment if you shared something you love about the Battle Bunnies on your favorite social platform today, like X, Facebook, or Instagram, and tagged us. Or simply use hashtag #UltimateFancast so we can recognize and celebrate with you and other super fans by sharing your post. Bonus points if you do both and use an image of one of your favorite Battle Bunnies or a screenshot of this episode. We know you share, like, and comment because you care about our fellow Ultimate fans as much as we do. Please leave comments too to let us know how we can make this the greatest fan experience for the Battle Bunnies community. This podcast is sponsored by Hairstream Media, your bunnies all the time streaming service. Okay, not really. It is just us fans like you giving some of our time to support other fans like you. Join us over in the Battle Bunnies community and Discord to continue the fun. We hope you tune in with us each week, so make it easy. Subscribe now. We'll be here to keep you hopping when you need us.